Hey folks, it's May 21st, 2020, around about 4:24 Central, 5:24 Eastern Time. And let's begin with the review. I had the day as a low to high day, and I got that wrong. And once you get the larger degree of cycle, the daily wrong, the CITs are going to be inverted. So we had a key move starting at what was it, 224, and that market actually spiked higher into it, and then we went down into the close as against a high close. Also, we did not surpass the lows, highs from Tuesday yet, so the scenario of a higher degree wave taking over is not yet in play, and we're still churning. And we're literally churning between the monthly pivot, which is at 2921.29. Hang on a sec, this is messed up. So like that, and then the key number on the upside is 2962.8. If and there's a big move awaiting on either side of these numbers, but until we surpass these, we're essentially churning, and market wants to just retest the Tuesday after hours low. The retest can happen in one of these three ways, and these are all time bound. So that's actually a good thing. Uh, if we get a low around 7 p.m., between 6 and 7 p.m., latest by 7:12 this evening, then it's going to be a shallow retest, roughly just a couple of points below where we are right now at 2940.7, and then actually start hurtling up after hours. The second scenario is when the daily cycle actually turns up at midnight, and in that case, we'll get a retest of Tuesday. If we start to get a down move overnight, it's likely to last into the open tomorrow and may actually break Tuesday lows before it rockets higher. This rocketing higher, I think it can happen tomorrow. If not, it'll start next week. And also, it can be a combination of the green and amber lines where we get the initial low around 7 p.m. and a retest around midnight and then kind of go up. If we do start to move up in a meaningful way, which is an observable bottom, and we start to impulse, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually end up seeing 3005 on the ES tomorrow, somewhere between 3005 to 3015. So, yeah, so that's kind of visually what the expectation is. So, trading wise, your choices are, you know, just giving out both choices. It's up to you which side you want to play. I'm focused on the long side, given the larger cycles at work. But I know intraday, even sometimes I play short, like I shorted yesterday's close, so uh, somewhere around here. So, shorts can only be maintained against this number. So that's one option. The second option is obviously buying the drop, and especially if it occurs bang into the CITs. If you can't mentally validate the CIT, then don't take the intraday trade. And then the other option is actually buying a break of just even like today's high, and or buying a break of 2962.8. Okay. Uh, Going to the monthly or actually the daily wick cycles, we do have a close below the midline, so there is risk for this evening. because once again the shorter cycles are on sell, and the risk is, the 0.618 level is 2913.25. Um, and here's kind of my expectation for tomorrow's bar. Might look like a bullish hammer, um, and we'll see what happens from that. But still, we're still perched above Monday's pivot on midline, and and also and Monday and Tuesday both. So that's kind of on a weekly basis, it still seems pretty safe on the long side, and that actually, we can see the opening up higher targets. Now, even though we lost the midline on the daily cycles, if you look at the monthly cycle, this tells a different story. We failed to decline below the midline on a constant basis. We conquered it, had a retest, again retest, but higher today, and opened up higher targets. So even though on the daily cycles we have some weakness across the midline, so it might just be on the hourlies. But we know for a fact from our models that larger cycles are taking over. So when larger cycles take over, you get the moves that you get, as in March. They move fast and the pointage is very high in a single trading day. So this is also being validated on the monthly VIX cycles. And just to observe, the true midline is actually around rising, and it's at 2903.61. Um, Scooting over to the Mi-Chan model, we can see that the shorter cycles are on sell, but the pivot for next week is already set at 2962.69. That should have been 69. So that's where that number actually comes from. And once we surpass that, now we have alleviated the inverted situation we had for the weekly wave over the monthly wave. So that'll actually put markets into a trending position. And ideally, we should close above this number tomorrow to have a good bullish outcome next week. If not, we'll just have to kind of see what we get over the weekend for the cycles. So last time we had the weekly pivot crossing the monthly, that's the kind of move you got. Big move, hundreds of points, multiple hundreds of points. And then we had a huge churn from literally April 19th through now, below the monthly pivot. We crossed it, we gave it up, we didn't really surpass it meaningfully. But seems like for next week we are. So once again, this is short-term weakness possible, but overall markets are still poised higher. Next, looking at SSG, similar story. Gives a 2941.75 SPX week after our support, which obviously we are kind of below it. And if that fails, it's pointing to 2896.49. I don't think we get there, and we should look at midpoints, such as between 2896.49 to 2941.75. So that'll be like 2923. Okay. And if that fails, then we obviously have others, 2911.71 being the main one. Okay. Cycles, confounding. Um, if you look at this pattern is a good match, and they're confounding because if this leg has to go higher, as I'm assuming, then this is 7 p.m. actually, 6, 7 p.m. right here. So we need to hit a low here and invert. Calling inversions is the hardest job in what I try to do. calling and actually making your way through the inversions. The momentum kicks in at midnight, precisely midnight. That would be somewhere around here. So potentially a bottom here, 6, 7 p.m. and a bottom here, secondary bottom here. So that's kind of the green and the yellow lines. And if the green line clicks, then the yellow is actually going to be a double bottom. It'll be something like this at midnight and then take off. So I know a bunch of you are in Europe, so if you're observing the markets, that would be kind of the key thing to observe time-wise tonight. Or you could just decide, I'm just gonna look at midnight where we are. Okay, so that's the update, folks. And from a setup point of view, I think I already covered it. Today, I'm offering CITs to observe what's going on and take a short-term trade. That's for intraday folks. For positional and long-term trading, the model suggests holding on to longs is the right thing to do. Good luck, folks.